If you're thinking about moving to Steiner Ranch, whether you're coming from out of state or just a different part of Austin, there's some things that I always want to make sure everybody knows. And it's not just the pretty marketing stuff, it's the real life experience living here. Because I live here, I work here, and I've helped a lot of families move here, this is what I share with clients when we're not filming, when we're having a real conversation about whether Steiner is actually the right fit for them. So today I'm walking you through what life is like in Steiner Ranch. The good, the challenging, the stuff that doesn't show up in a neighborhood guide so that you can answer the question, is Steiner Ranch right for you? Stay tuned. Steiner's a true neighborhood in really kind of every sense. You've got kids walking and riding their bikes to school. You got everybody out walking their dogs on the trails. You've got cul-de-sacs that get taken over for basketball and soccer. You've just really got all of these things that give you that small town feel, even though we're only about 25 minutes from downtown Austin. You know, it's not trying to be something trendy, but it's just a great community-focused neighborhood where you can enjoy life a little slower pace, but still be close to everything that you would want. And sometimes people talk about walkability when they're looking at neighborhoods, and I think that there's kind of two different types of walkability. Steiner has one type of walkability, which is there's sidewalks everywhere, literally everywhere. You can go from anywhere in Steiner to anywhere in Steiner on a sidewalk. But what you can't do is you're not going to be walking to go out to dinner or go downtown or do something like that. You know, you're definitely going to be driving to those types of things. So it's not one of those communities that doesn't have any sidewalks and you're going to be walking on the road if your kids are trying to walk to school. We got sidewalks everywhere, but you are going to be in a scenario that if you're going to go outside the community, you're definitely going to get in the car and you're going to have to drive. So one of the biggest reasons that people move to Steiner Ranch is for the schools. So Steiner is part of Leander ISD, and you've got 3 elementary schools. You've got Steiner Ranch Elementary, Laura Bush Elementary, and River Ridge Elementary, and they're all in Steiner Ranch itself. And then you've got Canyon Ridge Middle School, which is right behind me, so we're right in the middle of Steiner right now, and this serves all of Steiner. And then when the kids graduate from here, they head up to Vandergrift High School, which is about 10 minutes to the north. That serves Steiner and the whole 4 Points area. So it's not just that the ratings are high for these schools, the parental involvement is very high, you've got a great PTA, and because we're in the community, everybody feels invested in the success of these schools. Which isn't to say that Steiner Ranch and Leander ISD aren't having the same budgetary concerns as a lot of other school districts, and there are competing visions for the future of the Steiner Ranch schools. But overall, I would say that parents are very pleased with the schools. They're very active. They're doing everything they can to make sure that we maintain great schools in this area. And they feel very optimistic that we're going to have a great school system for many, many years to come. So we've talked a little bit about the schools and the location of the schools and how easy it is going to be for the kids to get to school. But what about your commute? So let's talk about commuting from Steiner Ranch. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your commute. So one of the things that people always ask when they're considering Steiner is, what about the commute? We are a little bit outside of Austin. So we're about 25 minutes, 30 minutes from downtown Austin when there's no traffic. We're about 20 minutes from the Domain and the Apple campus. And then it kind of comes down to, you know, where is it that you do most of your things? You know, if your kids are in sports in Steiner and they're going to school there, then you're probably not commuting that far outside of working hours. You know, if you're somebody who wants to be going out to dinner downtown in Austin every day or a couple days a week, then it might be a little too far for you. But for most people, they just find a good balance that works for them. And for a lot of people, they also just kind of look at it as it's worth the trade-off. The drive is pretty, you know, it's a lot of trees, it's a lot of hills. It's not like you're sitting on 35 for hours at a time. If you got a car that's got a little bit of autonomous driving, it takes a little bit of that stress off as well. And then, hey, I mean, Austin is the home of the Waymos, where the first place where they're running the Tesla's doing the robo-taxis. So if you believe in the direction we're going there, in a couple of years, you're not going to be driving yourself anyway, so the commute's not going to matter at all. After you've figured out how you're going to handle your commute to and from Steiner, then it's really about figuring out what neighborhood is going to be the perfect one for you. When people are looking at Steiner Ranch, they're usually looking at other neighborhoods that are similar as well. You know, good schools, same proximity to Austin. but what they find in Steiner is you get a lot more for your money when you're buying a house. So when you start looking at the actual houses, one of the things about Steiner though, because it is a more established community, is that there is quite a bit of difference between the houses. They might look the same on paper, but a lot of these houses are older. So that you look at something that's built in the early 2000s, late 90s, that hasn't been touched, versus something that's been fully remodeled versus something that's kind of in the middle. You know, you've really got to get a good feeling for what you can get. But people generally, they look at the value of the house you can get. Steiner, you can get a good size house, you can get a good yard, you can get something that's been updated, and you can do all that with privacy and view for $1.2 million, something you just can't do in other equivalent neighborhoods. So when you're looking at Steiner and you're decided that you're going to get more value here, one of the challenges is really figuring out what's the best house, where am I getting good value? But don't worry, that's where I come in to help you, because I sell every neighborhood, I've seen every type of house here, and I can guide you through that process so you can find a great value and a great house in Steiner Ranch. And once we do that, you know, once you find the right neighborhood and the right house, the next question always becomes, okay, what else am I getting? What else am I getting as being part of Steiner Ranch? That's where all the HOA amenities come into place. So let's take a look at those. Steiner's got a lot of HOA run amenities, and really they're some of the best in Austin. So you've got multiple pools, you've got parks, you've got playgrounds, pavilions, community centers, you've got 20 miles of hiking and biking, and you've even got the private lake club that is only for Steiner residents. And I know when some people hear HOA, they start to panic a little bit, but this is not one of those overbearing HOAs. And you get a lot of benefits and a lot of amenities with this HOA. So besides all the pools and parks and everything that I talked about, you know, there are some rules. There's going to be some restrictions. You can't park your boat in your driveway. You can't have broken down cars in the lawn, you know, things that a lot of people don't want in their neighborhood. So as long as you're willing to follow the rules and kind of look through, it's really very reasonable for what you get. And when you start to walk through all the amenities and take a look at everything that you get for the price, most people really like the trade-off of the Steiner Ranch HOA for everything that they get. And overall, almost everybody I talk to in Steiner has a very positive experience with the HOA. I mean, they love the amenities, they love everything that you get. And a good HOA helps keep home values up, it helps things stay looking nice, and it really helps you hold the value and enjoy coming home to your neighborhood. And really overall, the HOA and the amenities is one of the key reasons why people like Steiner and why they stay in Steiner for the long term. So I know when people think about master plan communities, they're probably thinking about these new construction developments that they go out and look at, and you have all these cookie cutter houses all sitting next to each other. There's no trees, it's pretty barren. It's pretty, but it can be kind of sad. Well, Steiner has been around for about 30 years. So you have mature trees, it's very well designed. You have all these little pockets of neighborhoods, you've got great views. And so it gives you the benefits of a master plan community, but with the benefits as well of a more mature, beautifully built community. So if you want the benefits of master planned, but you also want to be able to look out at this while your kids swim in the pool, then this is a great option for you. So if you made it this far, hopefully you've gotten enough perspective to be closer to answering the question of whether Steiner Ranch is right for you. If you want a local perspective, I'm Matt Van Winkle. I live here, I work here. I want to be your go-to resource for all things Steiner Ranch. So if I can help in any way, please reach out and I'll see you in the next video.